Earth and countless other planets were established by families of transhuman and alien royalty for the purpose of harvesting the resulting organisms to produce a youth serum for the elites that live on other planets. After the death of the matriarch of the House of Abrasax, the most powerful of the alien dynasties, her children, Balaam, Talit, and Titus, quarrel over the inheritance, with Balaam inheriting an enormous refinery on Jupiter, and Titus spending his inheritance on a lavish spaceship. In the opening scene, Jupiter Jones begins by narrating about her parents. Her father is named Maximilian Jones and is the son of an English diplomat. Maximilian met her mother, Alexa, in St. Petersburg, Russia. The two soon fall in love. They watch the stars together through his telescope. Later on, the two are expecting their child, which Maximilian wants to name Jupiter. Alexa isn't too fond of the name, saying they can't name a child after a planet. Suddenly, four robbers break into the couple's home, and Maximilian gets shot, trying to prevent the men from taking his prized possession, his brass telescope. He dies in Alexa's arms. After that incident, Alexa decides to move from Russia to America. Somewhere in the Atlantic, she gives birth to her child, as she and her family are on a freighter heading to America. She decides to name her Jupiter. In the present time, the adult Jupiter makes a modest living, working as a maid, cleaning houses of wealthy clients, and living in Chicago with her extended family. Jupiter hates her job and her life, yet she's not very ambitious or eager to do anything about it. On the Zalintri planet, where the people were just being harvested, the Abrasax siblings, Titus and Khalid, are talking about the harvest. The sister says that the victims feel no pain at all, and the harvest procedure was being done in a humane way. Suddenly, their elder brother and the successor of the Abrasax Empire, Balaam, shows up, and it's revealed that Balaam is the one who ordered the planet harvest. Titus later mentions a very rare and beautiful planet owned by their mother called Earth. Back on Earth, three intergalactic bounty hunters, Falke, Razzo, and Ibis, are scoping out a woman's health clinic when they spot a man named Caine Wise near the area. They realize that he's after Jupiter as well, and they decide to go after him. Meanwhile, Caine breaks into the building and checks the patient's record, named Catherine Dunleavy. Caine realizes he's being stalked, and he emerges from the building with his hover boots, defending himself with his shield and shooting back at the bounty hunters as they attack him. He flees the scene unharmed. In Abrasax Factory, Balaam meets Mr. Knight and Mr. Skolikin, who tell him that they sent a group of alien creatures, called the Keepers, to Earth. They also claim to have identified a gene print on Catherine Dunleavy, who they believe is the reincarnation of Balaam's mother. Balaam orders them to kill the woman immediately. It turns out that Catherine Dunleavy is Jupiter's roommate. At the apartment, Catherine is getting ready to go out. A group of alien creatures, called Keepers, appear in the apartment and incapacitate Catherine. Jupiter takes a picture of them with her phone, but when her phone suddenly rings, they lunge at her. Moments later, Catherine wakes up, and neither her nor Jupiter seem to know what just happened. The Keepers have erased their memory of the incident. Later that night, Jupiter has dinner with her family and asks her uncle Vasily for money. He refuses to give her money and makes a rude remark that Jupiter is too smart for her own good, and that's why she's unable to find a husband. Alexa defends her daughter angrily, though the rest of the family seems to agree with Vasily. Later, Jupiter's looking at a brass telescope on eBay. Her cousin Vladdy comes in and suggests that she go to the fertility clinic and donate her eggs for some money. Jupiter agrees, even though she has to split the earnings with him. Jupiter goes to the clinic under Catherine's name, which Balaam is informed of. He orders his people to find Jupiter and kill her. The doctors put her on the bed and then levitate her. They probe her and know Jupiter's identity, and they attempt to kill her. Caine bursts in and kills the doctors as they reveal their keeper form. He gets Jupiter out of there. In deep space, the Abrasax siblings learn of Jupiter's existence. Their mother has died, and they now seek to inherit the Earth as their own. Balaam awakens from a slumber after going through a successful planetary harvest. His brother Titus is cavorting with other women in his lavish castle, while his aide, Famulus, informs him that Caine, who's been sent by Titus, has located Jupiter. Their sister Caliche also has concerns over the inheritance of the Earth. Jupiter finds herself atop the Willis Tower. As she awakens, she attempts to shoot Caine with a gun before he calms her down. Caine explains to her that he's a genetically engineered being made up of a splice between a human and a wolf. Jupiter asks why she was almost just killed, and Caine tells her that she's the rightful owner of the planet. He claims that human life began not on Earth, but on another planet called Oris. Jupiter also has no memory of the Keepers finding her, and her taking a picture of them, which Caine explains as them erasing her memory. They're beamed up by a spaceship hovering over them when the bounty hunters show up and destroy the ship. Caine carries Jupiter as they fly over the city with his hover boots as the bounty hunters chase after them. Jupiter falls in the attack, but Caine catches her before she hits the ground. Caine hijacks a small ship and escapes with Jupiter. Caine and Jupiter drive away from the city, where Caine continues to explain the history of the adversaries family. They've been splicing humans with other animals for ages, and are responsible for events such as the extinction of the dinosaurs. The two drive up to the home of Caine's former comrade, Stinger Abney, who's spliced with a bee. Stinger lives with his ailing daughter. He and Caine were once skyjackers, but were dismissed following an incident, and now Stinger resents Caine. The two fight for a little when a swarm of bees appears. The bees surround Jupiter, but they never sting her. She moves her arms around them, and they fly around her. Stinger realizes who she is, and starts to refer to Jupiter as Your Majesty. Caine tries to contact the Aegis, space cops, to help them. The bounty hunters and a few keepers come up across Stinger's home. They chase after him, Caine, and Jupiter through the field outside of his home. Falk corners Jupiter and nearly kills her. Razzo shoots him in the back and kills him first. They capture Jupiter and ascend on their ship. Caine manages to latch onto the ship as she leaves Earth. Razzo and Ibis bring Jupiter to the home of Caliche. She's friendly toward Jupiter, and tells her that she's something of a genetic incarnation of Caliche's mother. She shows Jupiter a statue of her mother that looks exactly like Jupiter. Caliche says that she's 14,000 years old, and her mother was 90,000 when she was murdered. Caliche walks into a bath and sheds her older image to a more youthful appearance. Stinger then shows up with the Aegis, led by Captain Diamata Singh. They order Caliche to hand over Jupiter to them. In order for Jupiter to properly stake her claim on Earth, she's forced to go to Oris and go through a process for registration. She goes through several windows with an android lawyer until she's printed with a tattoo on her wrist and officially allowed to claim ownership of Earth. In the meantime, Jupiter attempts to sort of flirt with Caine. He thinks he isn't good for her and compares himself to a dog, even though Jupiter claims to love dogs. Titus and his people take in Jupiter and apprehend Caine as Stinger hands them over to him in exchange for currency to help his ailing daughter. Titus and Jupiter have dinner together. Titus deduces that Jupiter has fallen in love with Caine, yet he still proposes to her. Afterwards, he shows Jupiter a room filled with thousands of vials that contain youth serums made from harvesting hundreds of dead humans. Jupiter is horrified by this realization. Caine is imprisoned and placed in a chamber by Titus and his people. He plans to kill Jupiter after marrying her so that he can get his claim to Earth. Caine is expelled into space with his hands cuffed behind him. He uses his hover boots to burn the handcuffs off and grab a floating pack that contains a space that automatically forms itself around Caine's body and saves him from suffocation. He only has 40 minutes of oxygen. The Aegis emerge from hyperspace and rescue him. Titus convinces Jupiter to marry him, saying that marriage is just a contract in order to protect innocent people, which are humans on Earth. After knowing that Caine was kicked out from the spaceship, she finally agrees to marry Titus in exchange for Caine and Stinger's freedom, while also allowing them to get their role back in the Legion. Back to the Aegis. Even after being betrayed, Caine asks for Stinger's help to rescue Jupiter. Stinger apologizes and reveals that he did that to save his daughter's life. So they immediately head to Titus's spaceship with flying warpods. Titus realizes this and orders his men to prevent them from coming close to the ship. The wedding is about to take place. Titus has his ring printed on his finger during the ceremony. Jupiter nearly has hers printed on when Caine comes crashing in on a ship into the cathedral. He comes up to the platform where Jupiter and Titus are and informs Jupiter that Titus plans to kill her. They hold Titus at gunpoint, but Jupiter only wants to go home. Meanwhile, Balaam is informed that Jupiter is still alive. His lizard-rat hybrid henchman, Sargorn, is sent to Earth with his team of lizard-rat men to break into the home of Jupiter's family and capture them. Jupiter goes home and realizes this, forcing her to return to deep space and save her family. Jupiter arrives at a mining facility on the planet where Balaam resides. The Aegis are close behind her, but are unable to enter because the planet is protected by a shield. Jupiter is brought before Balaam, who shows her the family in the floor beneath them as they're floating and sleeping in stasis, while the henchmen get ready to splice into them. Using a special contract, Balaam orders Jupiter to sign over her rights to rule over Earth if she wants her family to live. Realizing that either way, she and her family would die, since Balaam would harvest them on Earth, she refuses and smashes the contract. With the help of Stinger, Caine breaches the planet's shield. Singh informs him his mission could get him killed. She adds that he's tremendously courageous. Caine breaks into Balaam's facility and kills the lizard rat people to save Jupiter's family. He pulls Jupiter out with a device that opens a hole beneath her to get her away from Balaam. Outside, the facility starts to destabilize and collapse. Caine fights Sargorn, while Balaam tries to kill Jupiter himself. Caine kills Sargorn by pushing him into the hole that he made and removing the device to close the hole around Sargorn's neck, crushing it. Jupiter's family is taken to safety, while Jupiter fights back against Balaam. Balaam believes Jupiter is his mother's reincarnated, and he admits that he murdered his mother, claiming that she told him she hated her life and wanted him to kill her. Jupiter shoots Balaam once in the leg and whacks him across the face with a bar. The platform beneath them breaks slightly. Balaam is unable to hold on, and he plummets to his death. Jupiter falls, but is rescued by Caine. With the help of the Aegis, everyone is able to escape the crumbling facility and get out safely. Jupiter and her family are taken back home, with their memories erased of their capture, or any interaction with evil lizard rat people. While Jupiter secretly retains ownership of the Earth, she continues to go about her work, and has made breakfast and coffee for her family. Her mother and aunt are confused when they see her behavior has changed drastically. At family dinner, they surprise her by bringing out the brass telescope that she wanted. She then tells the family that she has a date. They all press her with questions like, is he Russian? Jupiter joins Caine on the roof of another building. He has his wings restored to his back after his heroic deeds, and she's gotten hover boots of her own. Jupiter decides not to tell her family that she basically owns Earth. The two of them kiss and take flight over the city. And just like that, Jupiter's double life begins. Would you be able to keep a secret like that from your family? Let me know in the comment section below. And hey, while you're at it, make sure that you're subscribed to our channel and that you click the like button on this video. If you want to keep binging more movie recaps, make sure you click that video that's on screen now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next movie recap.